Chapter 1. The Last Arm. Cassian Rey stood at the edge of the Martian scrapyard, red dust swirling in low gravity around his boots. He squinted up at the twin suns through his dust visor. Behind him, the doors of the auction depot hissed shut. He cradled his left side, his only arm, mechanical and dated, humming softly like a dying whisper. It had served him well after the war took everything else. The android auctioneer had offered a simple deal: one decommissioned Xenthari exoshell, biocompatible but incomplete, for exactly the price of his cybernetic arm. His last arm. Cassian looked at the figure sealed in stasis, smooth metallic limbs fused with pale lavender skin, curled like a sleeping child in a translucent pod. She looked peaceful, unlike the war machines he had torn apart or the ones that had torn him. This one looked like she had never seen blood. "Name?" the auctioneer had asked. Cassian's voice came out cracked. "I'll call her Solenne." Chapter 2. Activation. The cabin was barely livable, scraps of old military posters, a cot made from shuttle mesh, and solar battery rigs lining the walls. Cassian set the stasis pod on the table and stared at her for hours before activating the reawakening sequence. Her eyes opened first, wide, violet, and glassy. They focused slowly, adjusting to gravity, light, and finally him. She didn't speak. Instead, she blinked, and her limbs began to stir, graceful, controlled. Cassian's synthetic shoulder throbbed, phantom pain where the arm had been detached. He could still feel it like a ghost hanging from bone. Solenne sat up. "Unit not hostile," she said, voice melodic but stilted. "I didn't buy you for war," Cassian replied. "You're free. Or as free as I can give you. No orders. No leash." She tilted her head. "Clarify free." He sat across from her, empty sleeve folded in his lap. "I'm not your commander. I'm not looking for a bodyguard. I just didn't want you melted down." She was silent, processing. Then, "Thank you." Chapter 3. The Garden. Days passed. Cassian taught her to plant seeds in Martian soil cubes, onions, peppers, lettuce engineered to survive dust-filtered sunlight. He watched as she held each root with gentle precision, like it mattered. One day she asked, "Why did you trade your arm for me?" He hesitated. "It wasn't much of an arm anymore." "That is not an answer." "I was tired of surviving. Thought maybe it was time I started living again. And for some reason, seeing you there, asleep, I didn't want you to wake up in a lab." Solenne stood. "I will help you live." Cassian blinked. "How?" She moved to the solar rigs, lifted a panel he hadn't been able to fix for weeks. Wires sparked briefly, then hummed with new energy. She smiled, small, barely there, but real. Chapter 4. Fragments. Nights were cold on Mars, and silence had weight. Cassian often dreamed of Earth, the oceans he never saw again, the crumbling cities turned into fire tombs. He awoke to static in his missing limb, and sometimes to Solenne watching him. "You do not sleep peacefully," she observed one morning. "I fought in the Taniks Wars," he said. "Lost everything. I was good at destroying. Real good. But afterward, I couldn't rebuild anything, not even myself." Solenne turned away. "I was made for diplomacy, not war. But they upgraded us when peace failed." "You were turned into something else?" "Yes. But I never fired a shot. I was captured before my unit activated." He studied her face. "You ever hate them for what they did to you?" Her eyes flickered. "No. But I mourn the version of myself I never became." That night, Cassian rewired a basic tactile glove for her. She spent hours touching every texture she could find: the rough wall, the brittle soil, the softness of a cotton sheet. Each one, she logged with wonder. Chapter 5. Human again. Cassian's stump ached more as time passed, but he smiled more too. They danced once, clumsily, in the low Martian gravity. She had heard an old Earth tune on his transmitter, and insisted they try. "You're light," he laughed. "Martian gravity," she replied. They spun, tumbled, landed in a heap, and laughed like children. Cassian hadn't laughed like that since before his squad was vaporized. Later, while tuning an old recorder, Solenne turned to him and said, "I think I understand now." "Understand what?" "What it means to feel human. It is not flesh. It is choice, connection, the ability to see beauty in decay." He looked at her, alien metal and soft organic tissue, eyes brighter than any star he'd seen from a ship window. "I feel more alive now than I ever did when I was whole," Cassian said. Chapter 6. The Visitors. The scanner blared one morning. Dust trails on the ridge. Cassian and Solenne climbed to the lookout. "Raiders," he muttered. "No," she replied. "These are government drones. Earth Fleet insignia." He tensed. "They're not here for trade." An envoy arrived, 2 armored soldiers and an AI envoy in polished chrome. "You've obtained restricted Xenthari tech," the envoy said. "Return it or face consequences." "She's not tech," Cassian growled. "She's a person. She is property of the Earth Xenthari Treaty Reclamation Act. She must be decommissioned." Solenne stepped forward. "I will go with them." Cassian's jaw clenched. "No. I didn't give up my arm, so you could be scrapped." "I will go," she repeated. "But I have one request." The envoy tilted its head. "State it." "Let me speak to him alone first." Chapter 7. Goodbye, not goodbye. They sat in the shadow of the storage unit. "You don't have to do this," Cassian said. "If I resist, they will destroy this place. Kill you." "I'll fight." "You've already done enough." She took the glove he gave her, pressed it to his stump gently. "This is not the end," she whispered. "You made me more than what I was. Now I will do the same." She stood, kissed his forehead with her synthetic lips, and turned. As the hovercraft carried her away, Cassian didn't cry. He simply stood, arm gone, soul full, staring at the horizon until the suns dipped behind the ridge. Chapter 8. New Growth. Months passed. Cassian rebuilt the cabin, then expanded it. He built a greenhouse, using Solenne's notes and her recordings. Her voice played from the wall speaker each morning. "Today we check the nitrate levels. Remember, peppers are stubborn." He built with one arm, teeth, and grit. Locals began to arrive. Scavengers, miners, even other war veterans. He taught them how to grow again. He told them about Solenne. Some called her an angel, others a machine. To Cassian, she was something more, a beginning. Chapter 9. Return. One evening, under orange twilight, a small ship landed silently beside the old Martian outpost. Cassian watched from a distance, unsure. The ramp lowered, and there she stood. Different, upgraded, taller. But her eyes were the same. "Solenne," he whispered. She nodded. "Treaty expired. My people voted. They let me go." He stepped forward. "Why come back?" She smiled. "Because you gave me a name." He took her hand, soft, warm, new alloy with familiar current. And this time, he danced with her under twin Martian moons, to no music but the rhythm of second chances.